What does home mean? Humans have made their homes all over the planet, in all kinds of conditions. But there's one environment that's especially difficult to live in: the desert. And yet, around the world, thousands of humans are proud to call these dry stretches of land home. So why do people live there? What does their desert home mean to them? The red center of Australia, the bush, is one of the driest, hottest places on Earth. Before white settlers came, Australian Aboriginals lived in the bush, navigating the arid landscape using thousands of years of folk memory and knowledge. Today, most Aboriginals live in towns. But the bush will always be a special place. It is where they go to remember their traditions and their ancestors. As Silvana, an Aboriginal, points out,
Wan puting kami wura niya nani kokanga mulwal jawin kinga niya wura niya la rungura wura ngala niya nani banyak tao nang kuya puting ko jadi pada banyak ilang ana bangarani puting mura pokol barar.
Although they may not live a traditional life in the bush anymore, the desert is still the Australian Aboriginals' spiritual home. Mongolian nomads have been living in the Gobi Desert for thousands of years too. For Aiditsu and his family, home is not in one place. They move their tents and their animals 4 times a year to find better grazing grounds for their herd. For them, home means the place their animals are, because their animals are their livelihood. But it goes deeper than just making a living, because raising animals in this way has been passed down from generation to generation for many years. So, for Mongolian nomads, much like the Australian Aboriginals, the Gobi Desert is home because it provides a spiritual connection to ancient traditions and ancestors. But some people who call deserts home moved there much more recently. The Grief family have lived in Africa's Namib Desert for only 20 years. They mine for crystals on the Brandberg Mountain, selling the crystals to collectors. So what does their desert home mean to them? Well, as with the Mongolian herdsmen, it is a place to make a living, to provide for the family. But for Russ Grief, it is more than that. Making your home in the desert is about testing yourself, adapting to the difficult conditions.
Die woestijn het een speciale effect op een mens. En dat is die manier om een mens te breien om bij hem aan te passen. Die woestijn past niet bij jou aan. Nie.
To most of us, life in the desert can seem very difficult. But for the people who live there, home is a place where you can test yourself and your abilities, where you have economic opportunities, and where you can connect to your traditions and your ancestors.